exactly what has been what is happening is that the song and the chant that the fraternity is singing is a chant that has been taught to them by their elders or the older people in their fraternity. I've been given information to know that the song has been handed down. It's not just this chapter at the University of Oklahoma, but it's also chapters around the country who have similar chants, if not the same chant, taught to them. What has happened is when the fraternity went on the date party, the video was leaked of the chant. The school and everybody in the country at large were able to see the content of what was being said behind doors. As soon as this information leaked, a lot of people and students at the University of Oklahoma were explaining the ways that a lot of these things were already happening and how people were making complaints. Now, those complaints were not able to necessarily, I think, be engaged with the right way, and a lot of administrators were reluctant to engage inside of the racism claims that people were making because they didn't have proof. And I think the video provides proof. As soon as the video provided proof, students like myself were able to mobilize and, like you said, march and protest to show and symbolize the ways that the OU at large and the real Sooners, so to say, we're not going to stand for the injustices that have been perpetuated. The song's lyrics are filled with the N-word, include the racial slur, vow no black people will ever join the fraternity SAE.
There'll never be a nigger SAE. There'll never be a nigger SAE. You ain't from a tree, but don't never talk with me. There'll never be a nigger SAE.
So you hear the horror. There'll never be N-word in SAE. There'll never be the N-word at SAE. You can hang him from a tree, but he'll never sign with me. There'll never be the N-word in SAE. Rashid, do you think these students should have been expelled?
Yes, ma'am. I think they should have been expelled, and I also think we should be doing investigation in other areas of the university to where these things are being perpetuated. I know a lot of people were confused from the fact that they knew some of these students on campus and had class with them. These students had relationships with other people of color, even outside of African American. But I think the truth is, and what is going on is that regardless of the ways that I think people are showing themselves on campus, there is many things going on behind the scenes that need to be investigated and pursued to find the truth in the ways that we deconstruct the ways that racism is perpetuating itself. I think if only students celebrate black or African American, if only white students celebrate African American students when it comes to football or entertainment, then there is a problem, because in every other instance it's demonized or it's criticized, or like you hear within the chant, it's I guess for lack of a better term, it's spoke about in a terrible way, to where you understand the innate and internal feelings of a person, which generally would explain the reasons to why there is a tension and a perpetuation of racism in different other industries and structures on the university and the community at large.
And Tracy Washington, could you explain how you think the university should have responded to this incident?
Students, and thank you, Amy, for having me on the show. Respect the students for the organizing that's happened. I wrote a blog piece stating that as an adjunct professor, as an organizer, as a civil rights attorney, and as a mom of a 22-year-old who is a college senior, I understand that first impulse to say, we're going to get rid of this. You know, we're going to get rid of this chapter, and we're going to get rid of these students. We're going to expel them. I would have wanted President Bourne to take a step back and to breathe and to say, we get kids on a college campus who are not fully formed adults. And it's our responsibility to go a little bit farther. What these students did, what they are chanting is disgusting, but it cannot, as Rashid said, be only them. We've got to heal our campus, and we've got to educate our campus on anti-racism. And that campus includes the entire community, the students, the faculty, the staff, and even those students who made those disgusting chants, because expelling them, sending them into the world, not understanding fully how to be anti-racist, doesn't do anything for society, but it could lift up that university and that campus to understand how to grow better people.
Rashid,
and that's what I wanted to.
Rashid Campbell, your response to Tracy Washington.
I would say the first thing is that I have a personal relationship with President Boren. And when I spoke to him, I think his reactions were spot on. I think the fact that he was passionate and emotional in the ways that he wanted
we
to be
have 10 seconds,
showing. And the ways that he wanted to show how he wanted to create I guess a statue or a symbolization to say we're not going to stand for something. I think that's great. The thing that I want to say is it's true that these kids need to be educated, and we have students that are not from communities that know about racism, but I think it is our duty to say what we're standing for and what we're not going to stand for. I think there needs to be implementation for other students in classes to have them teach race sensitivity and educate them on racist structures and how they cannot perpetuate those things.